out there. Can of spray there if you ever need it. Yeah, I forgot that I had them. Normally I don't use them, but just just in case. Um, Maybe a tiny bit less. Like I mean, I didn't see exactly what you were doing, but I know Chris was texting me at the beginning of the game saying you were using it a little too much. So, but I mean, right? Yeah, yeah. When you're looking through it on the camera, it's hard to judge.
They're good enough.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Horseshoe Soccer Complex here in Joplin, Missouri. We are underway with game number 2 out of 3 in this ACCA National Championship. It's an interesting format that we've got going on for you here. It's a round-robin championship format due to the fact that there were only 3 teams involved in this tournament. So we could actually crown a champion here today if Hillsdale is to win this game after winning 3-1 over Ozark last night. Then they would be the tournament champions due to the fact that there's absolutely no opportunity for anybody else to get 2 wins. But if Emmaus, the Eagles from Dubuque, Iowa, can pull off the victory, then everything will be up for grabs tomorrow when Emmaus plays Ozark. Right now, Hillsdale is in control of the ball. At least they were for a moment. They're wearing their mostly white kits. The front have got a little bit of that navy blue on them down towards the bottom. Kind of the flip aspect for the Emmaus Eagles is they're wearing mostly royal blue with it kind of filtering down into a white around the belt line. Hillsdale pressuring the attack here in the early going. Emmaus able to catch up to it and get it out of that coffin corner down here on the near side that doesn't show up on your camera view, so we'll do our best to give you the action that's going on down there when they go into those near side corners. Emmaus is on the ball right now as they take it up over the half line. Bringing it up now is Anthony Flores. He's the leading assist man for the Eagles as he likes to get things going. Everything kind of filters through him, and he's the setup man. Hillsdale, nice move there at midfield from Sheldon Spellman. Near side for Hunt. He sends it into the box. And coming out to grab that one is Eric Rasmussen. Starters for Hillsdale are pretty much the same as they were yesterday. We'll give you the starters for the Emmaus Eagles. Rasmussen is in goal. Elijah Barsones is on the field, as well as Joel Olson, Samuel Gitonga, Timothy Barton, Ryan Bell, Anthony Flores, Kyle Pickert, Nicholas Skoglund, Ben Backus, and Tyler Tucker. You get an early whistle here as the center official said there was a little bit of a tug on the jersey. So the ball will be going out. The Emmaus Eagles get a bit of a respite here as Hillsdale has really been on the attack here in their couple games, trying to spring something up here, and the left back was able to take possession of it, still not controlling it very well. Hillsdale over to the far side now, not with much control over there, and the Eagles are able to escape. Spellman tried a little dink pass to lay it off. Now Story on the ball. Tried to send it up to Hunt. Flores for the Eagles. Touch last by Thomason. looking for Ruiz. Wasn't quite there for him, but he's been an offensive powerhouse in this tournament so far. He's got a goal and an assist, giving him 10 goals and 6 assists on the year. The Eagles couldn't hold it in on the touchline. Hillsdale in control. Hillsdale pretty much using that same strategy that they tried to employ yesterday, with small passes in tight spaces. Try to work the possession angle. But Emmaus has been wise to it so far here today. They send a long ball up top. That is going to be too far as it rolls out. Back from the defensive line. Gitonga. Pass not quite on the mark. Now they send it in towards the box. That's well wide. Emmaus has done a good job here in the early going of closing down the spaces. You see it right there. Trying to get right in the ball handler's face, force some mistakes. That was something that Ozark couldn't quite accomplish yesterday. They did try, but ultimately the spaces were too much available, especially for players like Ruiz, who was just on the ball. Now he gets it back. He's got Hunt making a run, sees him a little bit late. Chip over the top of the defense. Hunt will catch up to it, gets a little bit of a forearm in the back, and wins a throw-in. Now Hunt on the left side of the box, gets it almost through the defender. Got it through the legs, but not quite far enough to retain possession. Eagles looking to work it around here. They've got a few numbers going forward. Joe Olson is making a run through the center of the pitch, and that was taken right off the foot of Gitonga. Chipping into the box, and offsides was Christian Ruiz. Now a chance here for Olsen. Puts it on the left foot, shoots! And it skims wide by a few feet. Olsen a little bit frustrated with himself. Thought he should have done more with that. You don't get those kind of opportunities every day, but the space was pretty tight. Gitonga. Flores. A little too hard off the foot of Bell. Again, looking for Ruiz. Almost a mistake along the back line. Now might they make them pay? Coming in now is Montez. Montez takes a right-footed shot, trying to sneak it in near post. Didn't quite get the power that he needed behind that one to do such a thing. Rasmussen was wise, didn't dive too early, wasn't cheating, and easily claimed the ball. Again, passing in tight quarters. Loscano over to the far side now. Sent into the danger area. Montez was there. It was just a bit too tall for him, but they'll still gain a corner kick from it. Hillsdale Saints out of Moore, Oklahoma, sending in the corner kick. It's met on the near side. Cleared away by Emmaus. But here come the Saints again. What moves there from Ruiz? A man taken down. Referee keeps the whistle in the pocket. Into the box for Tomasin. Sends it across the face of goal. Bell trying to get to it. Instead, it's Ruiz. Drops it and gets it back. Near side Hunt. Drags it along with that right foot. Towards the corner. Back out. Ruiz for Story. Very dangerous, close to a handball there. Took an odd hop. Emmaus trying to clear their defensive line. Garan's away. Spellman. Looking for a long ball. Montez trying to run onto it. Emmaus getting numbers back. Olsen trying to track that one down, forcing them to go all the way back to Daniel Taylor. He puts a big right foot into it. Bell trying to win the ball here. Can't quite catch up to it in the midfield. Here come the Saints looking for that through ball. It got through. Too hot for Montez, though. Pinballing around in the midfield. Spellman comes away with it. Again, looking for that through ball, but the Emmaus defense, that back four, has been fairly solid. This one goes into the 6-yard area. Again, Rasmussen right there to take it. Bit of a poor punt there. Loscano comes up with it. Takes the return pass. He's trying to track it down before it crosses the end line. Gets it across, missing the punch, but the defender was there to make the head ball and clear it over the attacking Ruiz. Now Ruiz sends it through. Hunt on the ball now after he took a pass. Tries to send it into the box. Smart defensive play there. Finally getting it up to Olsen. Leaves it back to Bell. He has his pocket pick. Tomasin trying to get a hold of it. Bell with a good tackle. Flores was looking for some space. Gives it to Gatonga. Now they get it behind the defense. Here comes Ruiz. Puts it on the left foot. Two defenders around. He shoots. He scores! It looked to be a broken offensive play, but Christian Ruiz finds a way to finish it off, and Hillsdale is up by the score of 1-0. The Hillsdale Saints, who are already one win away from the ACCA championship, take a 1-0 lead here. That's what they were searching for most of this first half, trying to get that ball kind of over the top through the spaces, and finally they were able to do so. Into the box again, could be dangerous, a very dangerous tackle right there. Was able to come away with the ball, but if that is just a hair late, that is probably a penalty kick. Story steps up and wins the ball. pinballing back and forth. Story with a right-footed curler. Took a bounce in front of the keeper. Want to remind everybody that if you want a downloadable copy of this game or any of the games from this tournament, or even the volleyball tournament, there's been some entertaining games going on there as well. Go to the website on your screen. You'll get more information on how to make your purchase and receive your downloadable link for one of these keepsakes. We've had some entertaining action in all of the ACCA tournaments here in Joplin. Olsen bringing it down the near side. Poked out by the defense. Katonga will go over and take the throw in. Flores on the ball, trying to get it to Bell. His first touch evaded him a little too much. Hillsdale trying to counter here. Won by Flores. Cheeky little back heel. Trying to get it up top to Olsen. Starting to see some similarities between this game and the one against Ozark. And once Hillsdale really kind of takes control, they force you to put so many numbers behind the ball that it becomes difficult to get numbers into attack. Going over the top again, this time looking for Spellman. That was touched out. It will be a throw-in. One 0 in favor of the Saints. Tomasin drops it to Ruiz. Now the shot coming, deflected off the crossbar. Punching it over is Rasmussen. Montez was there, but I believe that went off the defender. Would have been an own goal had it gone in. And here comes a drive. When the goalkeeper can see it from that kind of distance, it's usually pretty difficult to beat them unless you've got something special behind that kick. Now Olsen and Skoglund changing positions, trying to change things up a little bit, change the point of attack through the center for Montez, but well offside. Too hot to handle for Bell, and that'll roll out. Olsen on the back of Tomasin. Near side. Oh, that's not where you want to put it. Ruiz is on the ball. Back for Thomason. Leaves it now for Spellman. He takes a shot. He scores! Sheldon Spellman, the senior from Norman, Oklahoma, puts it in from about 25 out, and it's 2-0. Tonga couldn't quite hold on to it here on the near wing. Skoglund trying to track down the player with the ball. Good defensive play there by Tim Barton, although he looks a little bit shaken up. Perhaps caught that ball too close to the toes. Had that happen, tends to throw the tendons a little out of whack for a few minutes. Looking to switch the point of attack. Head ball falls to Ruiz. He wanted to go up top to Montez. Too much on it. So far, Hillsdale College proving to be quite a bit better in this tournament than they looked in the regular season. They finished 7-10-1. Now there's a giveaway as the defenders fall asleep. Montez put it off the defender's foot. I'm not really sure what was going on there. A bunch of miscommunication, and now you see a lot of finger pointing going on the back side of things for the Eagles. High lofted ball again, looking for Montez. Here comes Hunt, just missing on the near side post. Gabriel Salinas will come into the game now for the Emmaus Eagles. He'll take a spot up towards the top as Nicholas Skoglund takes a seat. You can get involved in the discussion on this game. Use the hashtag on Twitter, ACCA Soccer. We might feature your tweet on air. (2-0) in favor of Hillsdale Free Will Baptist. If they win today, they are champions of this tournament, regardless of the outcome of tomorrow's match. Thomason slicing his way through the defenders. That last one was one too many. Garanzaway on the ball. Spellman, he's got a goal here today. Story. A little too ambitious there, wanted to go over the top. Garanzaway was making the run. Eagles trying to counter here. Seeing a lot of players switching positions, switching sides of the field. Trying to find some open space. Tyler Tucker took a spill over there on the far side. He gains a free kick, but the wind not nearly as strong today and not coming from the same direction, so it would be very difficult to put things in from here. Gitonga skies high, goes over the defender, won the ball initially, then it's cleared away. Right into the face of Thomason. He's a little bit shaken up. We saw a nosebleed yesterday, one of the Ozark players. Although he claimed he took an elbow, this time it was just a straight ball to the face. Thomason staying on at least for now. If there's any blood, he will have to leave, but for right now, he's still on the pitch. Comes over here to the near wing. Hunt. Thomason. Won by the Eagles. Gitonga. Bell. Trying to go for Flores. Thomason with the steal. Gets the return pass, puts it past the defender, but couldn't quite catch up to it. Thomason seems to have taken over that midfield general role. Almost getting a touch every single possession here. This time they try to go long. Gitonga able to head it over the attacker. That gives up the throw-in. Story lays it back for Sutton. Thomason Garan's away for Montez. Takes a bit of a knock from behind. Bell able to make the interception. Right back for Hillsdale. Too much mustard there on that through ball. Miscommunication almost from the Eagles there. Salinas able to get a hold of it. Gatonga here on the near side. Flores guarded closely by Ruiz. Flores tried to send it through. Gatonga able to win it on a second attempt. Too hot for Salinas. Emmaus thought they had won themselves a corner kick, but instead it'll be a goal kick. Salinas steps into it, wins it on the second ball. Story switches the attack. Spellman. Garanzue. Montez. Wins it back. Flores. Not enough talking going on right now for the Eagles. Nobody really letting Flores know that there was a man right on him. Gatonga's back pass was then booted out of play. Elijah Barsness, the last to touch it before it went out. Trying to slot that one through to Thomason. Now here's Ruiz. Into touch here on the near sideline. Spellman off the defender. Barsness with the clearance, at least for the moment. Into the box. Thomason wins the corner. Remember, for more information about this tournament or any of the tournaments going on with the ACCA, go to acccasports.org for more information on each individual sport, or for more information on what the ACCA and its mission is. So 2-0 here in favor of the Hillsdale Free Will Baptist Saints. They've gotten goals from Christian Ruiz and Sheldon Spellman. Flores on the ball, looks for Gatonga. Not on the same page there as Gatonga sent it back and Flores was going forward. Now something could be on here. Ruiz is going to catch up to it on the far side, cuts it back towards center. Sliding tackle, put it right off of Ruiz and out. Now here come the Eagles. They need to try to pick something up before halftime if they really want a challenge in this game. Again, trying those balls over the top. Not a whole lot of size for Hillsdale. So therefore they look more for the through ball as opposed to having a man up top that's going to try to hold it up. Speaking of through balls, they get it through on to Ruiz. He will win the corner kick. Numbers into the box now. Headed away towards the top of the 18. Spellman almost won a handball there. Takes a shot. Olsen was right on him. Caused him a little bit of discomfort there, but ultimately still forcing a decent save from Rasmussen. Sky high on that head ball. Flores takes a bit of a tug there, wins the free kick. Into the box, and that's the first touch that Daniel Taylor has had to make in quite some time. Bell just wow. Quite a few players up, warming up for Hillsdale. Teams trading possession here. Flores almost drew the foul, keeps possession, and now it was taken away by Thomason. Emmaus in the first few minutes did a pretty decent job of getting the ball up towards the point of attack. Now they've become extremely bogged down in the midfield. They've tried to still work it through Flores, but I almost have to wonder if they're going to have to try to find somebody else to do something, because right now it's just not working. Flores looking for the free kick. He's not going to get it there. He was trying his best to shield the ball while on the ground. Instead, here comes Barsnes. He was all the way up from his center back position, trying to get something going for his team. Barsnes does have 6 goals on the year. More from the midfield position, where it seems like he's kind of set up shop. They may have transitioned a bit to a back three with Barsnes playing just a shade upfield. And here comes Thomason for the Saints. Almost got the return pass, went off the defender's head. Not sure if he intended that or not, but it still worked out. Olsen tried to win the back with a sliding tackle. Got a piece of the ball, but not in the right direction. And it'll be a Saints throw. And we're back on now. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Had a bit of a power issue with our broadcast computer, but seem to have gotten everything straightened out now. Nothing too much happened in the meantime. No goals were scored. There was a pretty decent shot. Came from the left wing from Hillsdale, but the goalkeeper Rasmussen was up to the task, made a pretty good save. He's been called into action quite a bit here today. Saw 2 go by him, but there wasn't a whole lot that he could do about those. inching closer to halftime. Tucker couldn't quite keep it in over on the far side for the Eagles. Emmaus coming into this one. They'd already lost to Ozark 3-0 in the regular season. That was back on September 25th. So they knew they were going to have a little bit of a tough task here with Hillsdale, who already defeated Ozark yesterday in this tournament 3-1. They came out with quite a bit of steam. Looked fairly sharp. Once that first goal went in, it seemed to be kind of in favor of Hillsdale for most of the rest of this half. Emmaus has kind of struggled to retain good possession. Created a few chances towards the beginning of the game, but nothing really since as Olsen lays it back for Flores. They're still trying to get everything to run through him. And obviously when he's probably your most skilled player, it's very understandable. But I think Hillsdale knows that as well, and they've kept somebody very close to him the whole time. Montez wins the head ball over the keeper, and he scores. That could be a backbreaker right there as Pedro Montez gets his second goal of the tournament, third goal of the match. And it's going to be really difficult to come back now for the Emmaus Eagles. Back underway and quickly a giveaway from Olsen. Thomason gets it for the Saints, takes it right into a defender. I believe that was Elijah Barsness. Here's Ruiz. Gets it back. Olsen a little bit shaken up there at the midfield. Trying to shake it off, but he seems to really be struggling. Not sure if that's some sort of cramp or what. He seems to be trying to rub out his calf. He is really struggling right now. Goal kick coming up for the Eagles. They trail 3-0. Hillsdale has gotten goals from Christian Ruiz, Sheldon Spellman, and Pedro Montez. Remember, you can join in the conversation about this game on Twitter if you want. Just use the hashtag ACCA Soccer. Throw in for Hillsdale from the far sideline. Long into the box. King got a piece of it. But Rasmussen was right there. Now here comes another chance, and off the post and in. Absolutely no opportunity there for Rasmussen to stop it. And Montez gets another goal as the score keeps piling up. So the Emmaus, Eagles have put themselves really behind the eight ball here. Still a lot of soccer to be played. We're still in the first half, if you can believe it. 4 goals have been put in by the Hillsdale Free Will Baptist Saints. So Hillsdale not taking their foot off the gas, and we saw some of that in the volleyball tournament yesterday. You really can't. Obviously, you want to be sportsmanlike and not run up the score or anything, but you never know in these kind of tournaments what can happen. All of a sudden, sometimes people get big momentum in the second half. Opportunity here for Thomason. He doesn't take advantage. Didn't get the shoelaces on the ball. Tried to go with the side foot and opened up that right foot a little bit too much. Got underneath it and put it wide on the far side. And there is an own goal. That has been pretty much the day that Emmaus has had. Miscommunication along the back line. There was a good pressure coming in, I believe, from Montez. If not, it was Garanzaway, but it's going to be credited as an own goal there. So that'll push the score to 5-0. Absolutely nothing that the goalkeeper could do there, and that's kind of been the way that his day has gone. You could see right after it happened the dejection and just kind of unbelievable reaction from the defense. They had high hopes coming into this one. They needed to get at least a tie to keep this tournament alive, but right now it's going to take a Herculean effort to keep Hillsdale from winning. Barsness able to win the ball, and it's tackled away. Spellman for Thomason. King wins the ball, keeps it in. Ryan Stevens filters it along. Thomason trying to track it down here on the near side. He will. Lifts it in towards the box. Ruiz around one defender. Tried to get around the second one. That was Tyler Tucker coming back to make a good play on the ball. Misjudged on the back line. And there is the halftime whistle. 45 minutes of play mercifully come to a close. 5 goals have been scored. 2 for Pedro Montez, 1 for Christian Ruiz, and 1 for Sheldon Spellman. If you say that doesn't add up to 5, well, it doesn't. The last goal was put in off the defender of the Emmaus Eagles, so that credited to an own goal. And the players for Emmaus a little bit shocked right here. They might have expected to not necessarily be in the lead going into halftime, but they didn't expect the scoreline to be that. And a lot of the defenders and players, outfield players, going up to their goalkeeper, Eric Rasmussen, and try to console him a little bit too. And they need to. You have to kind of get behind your own teammates right now due to the fact that this game is not over. I mean, the scoreline might say otherwise, and I don't say that tongue-in-cheek at all. It really kind of does. But ultimately you do still have to play the second 45, and both of these teams still with a lot to play for. Emmaus obviously has put themselves in a difficult position, even trying to get second place within this tournament due to the goal differential right now. But if you can put a couple in the second half and try to get things back on to some sort of terms, then you never really know what can happen. So it should be an interesting second 45 to say the least. But I'm going to take a quick little break. Again, we apologize for those technical difficulties kind of midway through the half there, and hopefully everything from a broadcast perspective will go smooth in the second half. 5-0 is your score heading into the break. Hillsdale Free Will Baptist 45 minutes away from being ACCA champions. And welcome back to the second half of action here at the Hillsdale Soccer Complex in Joplin, Missouri. Site of the 2015 ACCA Championships. I'm Todd Panula bringing you all the action here. Make sure to join me as well around 5:30. They give or take. Those indoor tournaments always seem to run late, but we'll also be bringing you the volleyball from the ACC tournament over at Ozark Christian College as well. The score right here, as you see on your screen, Hillsdale Freewell Baptist is completely in control by the score of 5-0. They got 2 goals from Pedro Montes, one from Sheldon Spellman, and one from Christian Ruiz. And then just before the halftime whistle went, an own goal on the Emmaus defense. Some miscommunication, and the ball was played off the defender, past the goalkeeper, who was completely unsuspecting. So right now, Hillsdale trying to just close this one out. Emmaus trying to do anything to get back into this one. They still have another game, and this one off the post, cleared off the line, still loose in the 18-yard box. King can't quite get good possession on it, and then a second attempt came in from Israel Garanzoué, but that goes wide on the near side. So it looked like a fairly innocuous play, but ultimately it ended up almost being a goal. Hillsdale back in control of it. Now they get it under Montes, looking for the hat trick, sends it in front. Rasmussen couldn't quite get the handle on it. Now King from the top of the 18, too many blue jerseys. Long shot, well over the goal. So Rasmussen puts it back into play off the goal kick. And again, Emmaus can't really find good possession. Flores looking for his right back. Chipped over. Looked like Tim Barton was the last one to get a touch on that for the Eagles. Now here come the Saints. Lozcano tried to slot that one through. Tucker tried to get it up to Barton. Good through ball for Lozcano. Struggled to find his footing a little bit, but plays it off Gatonga and wins the corner kick. High corner kick taken. Olsen can't clear it. Second attempt, the Eagles get it away. Olsen trying to catch up to that one. Flores looked like he got a hand on it, but doesn't really matter as the Saints regain it. Spellman. Lozcano tried to find King. Here comes Pickard. Tonga got a flick onto that one. Instead, it's Montes here in the corner. Now Ruiz takes it towards the box, leaves it. Olsen for the Eagles. Right into Lozcano. Olsen wins it back and then just cleared upfield. Lascano, who's moved a bit further upfield, still kind of in that right back position. But when you're up 5-0, you have the opportunity to go forward a little bit more. Now Hunt tries to get it to Montez. They're still looking for him to potentially get that hat trick. Couple substitutes coming in now for Hillsdale. William Starling and Gregory Jacobian, both getting their first action of this tournament. So Ruiz will get a breather. And it looks like Montez was taken out as well. Hillsdale still in control of this one, both in possession and the score line. Near side for Garanzue. King off the backside of Sutton. Actually, that was Starling, my mistake. Now here's Tucker. Trying to play it through to Olsen, cut out at the last moment by Lascano. If he didn't get a hold of that, Olsen was off to the races. Starling plays it around Tucker. All the way to the far side. Hunt plays it through. Ultimately cleared away. Remember, if you want a copy of this game or any of the games in this tournament as a shot rolls towards goal, you can go to the website featured on the screen, chrisscheeman.com/ACCA, and get more information on how to get yourself a downloadable copy. And that is the same website for soccer and for volleyball. Any of the matches you want will all be available. Just $5 for the soccer games and more information available about the volleyball. I believe that they're $5 as well, but don't quote me on that. Good move over on the far side from Hunt, but then the last touch put a little too far in front. It was an easy clearance. Bell playing a little bit further back than he probably would like. He seems to have kind of set up shop kind of in that right back position. He's was a little bit more of a midfielder early in the game. I think that's where he's a little bit more comfortable, although he's got the size for sure to definitely be a good defender. It's hard to muscle him off the ball. It's kind of easy to pick out as well. He's got that heavy wrap on his right hand. Couple substitutes checking in, one for each team. Alex Dickey will come in. He replaces Garanzue. And Tim Barton comes back into the game now. That will give Kyle Pickert a rest. Now there was some confusion by the head official apparently about whether the substitutes had checked out or not. But they've gotten it all straightened away, and we're back to action here as there's a long ball almost meeting up with Tim Barton, a freshman from Fort Dodge, Iowa. Barton listed as a defender slash midfielder, but he's playing up on the forward line. Try to get him a little bit experience in a position maybe he's not either used to or completely comfortable with yet. He is just a freshman, and at this stage, why not? Maybe the youngster can spark something here. Spellman. One touch. Lascano into the box. Offside. It would have gone in. I believe that was Hunt that was through. But ultimately, it will not count. So Maverick Hunt will not get his first goal of the tournament. King tripped up as he and Flores were both going for the ball. The referee saw it as being a little bit of an offense. Another substitute going to come in at next opportunity. KJ Orso will come into the game for Hillsdale as that goes out for the goal kick. So Orso will come in. Lascano will go out. Bell put it up for Barton. He tried to find Tucker. No deal there. Almost a collision there as King was a little bit out of control. Flores on it now. He's finding a little bit more space, trying to go over the top for Olsen. And that is just booted out of play. It'll be a throw-in along the near sideline. Emmaus with the ball. Trying to find Barton. Instead, it's Flores. Dancing around with the moves. A lot of white jerseys in his path, though. Gets a left-footed cross. It went all the way. Now Tucker with a shot. Not too much trouble there for the goalkeeper, Daniel Taylor. A freshman with 5 shutouts. Would like to pick up his 6th here today. Spellman able to wrestle it away from Tucker. Hunt trying to go for Starling. He'll take it all the way to the end line. And it goes out for the goal kick. Emmaus struggled to clear it over on the far side. Now they get it up to the forward line. Collision over there. And we're going to get a booking, it looks like. At the very least, a talking to, and I believe that will be all that it is. It was King that went in the hard challenge. Emmaus will get a dangerous free kick here, trying to climb their way back into this one. You have to score 1 before you can get to 5. Left-footed towards the goal, and a bit of a waste there. Joe Olson, a junior from Dubuque, Iowa, probably should have done a little better with that. Spellman drags it back towards center. Starling back for Spellman, and again. Starling tried a right-footed drive right into the defense. King, who is mostly a midfielder, listed as a midfielder and forward, he's playing back on the defensive line now. But when you're ahead 5-0, you can try things out, and same thing goes for Emmaus, down 5-0. They're playing a defender/midfielder as a forward. Foul goes against the Saints. So it looks like Gabriel Salinas will come back into the game. He saw some extended action in the first half, did not start the second half, but will come back into this one. Gitonga for Tucker. Looking for Flores. He's surrounded. Took a bit of a bump. Barton couldn't quite win it after getting the initial header. Gitonga wins it back for the Eagles. Unfortunately, it went right to Hillsdale at midfield. Here on the near side, picking up some speed is Dickey. He puts one into the box. A lot of blue jerseys there. Nobody really getting control of it, though. Hillsdale trying to get it back into the mix. Hunt's pass, a little bit too firm to be handled. Second attempt gets a hold of it. Spellman. Filtered on through to Hunt. He slices past the defender, does a little step over, puts a left foot towards goal. But that one was not quite where he wanted. Five to nothing is your score. 2 goals for Pedro Montes for the Hillsdale Saints. Christian Ruiz added to his total as well. And Israel Sheldon Spellman put in one as well. And then the 5th goal was an own goal off the Emmaus defense. Cleared away by Barsness. Olsen looking for Salinas. High up into that sky. A little bit difficult to see for some of those players when those balls go way up in the air. You've caught it on the camera every once in a while, kind of get that glare from the sun. But we'd much rather have the weather we have today than we had yesterday. Some big thunderstorms rolling in, canceled the game a little bit early. About 10 minutes into the second half between Ozark and Hillsdale. Ended up being a 3-1 victory for Hillsdale. So it's looking more and more like they're going to be the champions of the 2015 ACCA tournament. Still one more game tomorrow, but that will pretty much decide just who gets second place. Because with 2 wins, Hillsdale would have it all wrapped up. King almost a little bit too lackadaisical. So it'll be a throw-in on the near side for Hillsdale. Right down here to the near sideline. Gatonga takes it. Gets it back. Nice little flick move around the defender. But there's still just too many people around the ball. Barsness tried to send it through the midfield. Now here's a through ball, gets behind the defense. Here comes Hunt. He'll slow it up just a little. Hunt looks near side. Wanted to go for Dickey. He was there, but the pass was not. It'll still be a goal kick from the near side corner. Sent in, lofting towards the penalty spot. Head ball there. Goalkeeper doesn't come out to claim it. A little bit dangerous there on the part of Eric Rasmussen. Staying on his line, but I almost wonder if it's one of those things where you're already down 5. He didn't want to come out and make a mistake. But as a goalkeeper, when you start thinking like that, bad things can happen. King once again. Wondered a little bit if the card would come out, not necessarily for the foul, but just for the fact that King has been persistent. But nobody has been booked yet. Hopefully we'll keep it that way. We did have a yellow card yesterday. Gatonga chipping it over, finds Olsen, but he's guarded very closely. But he wins the corner kick. So coming into the game now is Eric Gioja for Emmaus and Alex Story for Hillsdale. Eli Gioja from Champaign, Illinois. Emmaus trying to get themselves on the scoreboard, faltering a little bit. Back to Bell. He'll try the boot. Fumbling it a little bit was Taylor, but he ends up finding the ball. Bell with another tackle. And the flag goes up for offside. Now in towards the box. Dickey trying to get it around the defender. Barsness coming out and getting a piece of it. I believe that is out for a throw-in. Goes out again. This time it goes in favor of the Eagles. Nevertheless, they can't keep possession. Hillsdale on it, up 5-0. Bounds in towards the box. Rasmussen came out but did not claim it. Substitute coming in for the Emmaus Eagles. Logan Matner into the ball game. Looking near side, trying to get it to Dickey. That's cut out instead by Krim. Krim gives it up, now has to try to make up for his mistake. Not sure if that was intended to be a cross or a shot, but it went in on goal. Again, King involved in a collision there. Running into Salinas. And that seems to be the case with most of his fouls. It's not anything overzealous. He just gets a little bit carried away and not necessarily aware of his surroundings when he goes in for some of those challenges. Trying to get it to KJ Orso. Into the box now. Defenders just kind of watching it, as was the goalkeeper Rasmussen. Olsen very upset that his goalkeeper didn't play that sooner. He eventually got the ball. Advantage played here, and then quickly given up. So the foul will be given. Blake Sutton awaiting to check in. Barsness sends it in. Couple Eagles running in on the backside, but didn't really time their run very well. The ball could have been better in and of itself, but the runs pretty much left something to be desired as well. Barsness on the ball, pressured there. Krim has his pocket picked as Starling takes control. He gives it up. Barton with it for the Eagles, tried to send it through. It's a little bit too hot to handle. Emmaus can't quite capitalize on the missed punt. Hillsdale coming away with it. They've got Dickey running here on the near side, but they couldn't find him with it. Story, who has taken up a spot further upfield than he's used to. He's normally a left back. Now Hunt on it. One of the few remaining starters still in this game for Hillsdale. So now Gatonga will come in for Emmaus. Sutton in for Hillsdale as they finally got the opportunity to sub. King will come out, and he played a very good game, but probably wise to get him out of there before he goes into the book. And Ben Backus, sophomore out of Dubuque, Iowa, will take a seat as well. Didn't say his name too often, but Backus was fairly solid along that back line. Doesn't get a ton of playing time in the regular season, but in this tournament, they played him quite a bit today. Off that corner flag and out, so it'll be a throw-in taken quickly. Hillsdale trying to get it in towards the box. Krim was able to get a leg up and clear it out. Second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, still on for Hillsdale. Now Olsen trying to get it out. He's got some speed, but so does Dickey. Dickey tracks him down and able to put it out of bounds. Now looking for Barton. Blind pass finds Salinas. Looking back for Barton, got caught up in the wickets. Bit of a dangerous slide there from Barton. Kind of slide that you would expect to see from a defender or midfielder if it's the position that he's more used to playing. Free kick one. So Emmaus will take it from the near side. Just about a yard and a half in from the sideline. Head ball goes out. And then a dangerous play was called there against Emmaus. That goes against Matner. Bell wins it. Gitonga calls off Matner. Salinas able to win it, can't keep control. "5-0 is your score. All goals were scored in the first half. Pedro Montes with 2. Christian Ruiz and Sheldon Spellman with the others. Now they send it over the top looking for Olsen, but too direct. Got to angle that one towards the corner, allow the player to run onto it. Instead, Olsen lets his frustration grow ever higher. Bell with a big collision there. Shot came in. Hillsdale claiming that it went out off the defender. I believe that was Hunt who got the shot. Always love to see that with the shooters when they're like, I wouldn't shoot it wide. Had to go off a defender. Backus comes back into the game now for Emmaus. Big goal kick there and given right back to Hillsdale. Story. Dominguez. Good little drag move from Hunt. Trying to pop it over the top for Dickey. Barsness was there. Gioa. Story wins the first one. Second one for Hunt. Now Dickey, one-timer. Right at the goalkeeper. Otherwise that one would have been extremely difficult to handle. Great composure there from Dickey to get the knee over the ball. A lot of times you'll see players, even at the highest professional level, get a little too antsy, get underneath that ball and sky it. But he put it right on target. Unfortunately for him, it was right at the goalkeeper. Gioja wins it. Salinas trying to find Backus. Instead, Gitonga had it pilfered away. Now Hunt on the hunt for a goal of his own. Gitonga plays it out for the corner. Corner kick upcoming, but a substitution first. Reagan Ross from Newcastle, Oklahoma, the sophomore, will come in. Listed as a defender, but I think at this juncture in the game that doesn't even matter. Maverick Hunt will finally come out of the game. Corner kick comes in, popped up in the air, punching at it is Rasmussen. He failed to connect with it. It goes out here on the near side. It's going to be a throw-in. Hillsdale still with possession. Lofted towards the backside. Cheeky little move there with the shoulder from Reagan Ross. Tried to get a little fancy with it. In the end, it didn't pay off, but when you're up by 5 goals, you can try out those things, and the coach is more likely to shrug it off. Tight game, and you might be sitting on the bench. Hillsdale again going over the top. They were trying to get it onto Jacobian. Starling tried his luck there from about, I'd say a good 30, 35 yards out. Didn't quite get behind it. Now here comes Emmaus. They just want to get on the board. Couple touches from the Eagles and then cleared away. Starling on it. Guarded closely by Barsness, or actually that was Bell. Bell steps into it again. Starling gives it up. Slotted through. Here comes Olsen. First touch a little too far. And then cleared out. Story. Wildly boots it upfield. Dickey runs onto it, though. Krim trying to relieve the pressure. Sends it out. Olsen will get a break. And Nicholas Skoglund will come into the game. Off the official. Hillsdale still takes it. Starling had his pocket picked as Barton came back to get a piece of it. Barton has been pushed back more into that midfield role, although he seems to be kind of a roamer. Now here comes Ross. In towards the 18-yard box. Little flick. Gets past the keeper, and they score! There's about 6 minutes left to go in this one. The score 6-0. As I believe it was Alex Dickey to finish off that one. It was Reagan Ross making the big effort to get into the box, put it across. And again, the Eagles just couldn't quite get it out. Rasmussen didn't come out to claim it. Saw it kind of slip by him as there was a few bodies. Krim trying to chase this one down, and Barsness will just whack it out of play. Hillsdale doing a good job of playing the way that you should play, really. I mean, you need to respect your opponent. You don't want to run up the score, but you don't want to put yourself in bad positions either to where you get into bad habits by letting your foot off the gas. You don't necessarily need to go for the goals when you're 30 yards out or anything like that, but still playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. Barsness puts it in off the throw. Barton on top of it. Shot attempt here. Goes off the defender, but rolls easily for Taylor. Looks like King might be coming back into the game. As well as Spellman. So King and Spellman on. Sutton and Logan Hill come off. Gitonga won the head ball. Story picked it up for Hillsdale. Salinas can't quite catch up to it. All the way back for Taylor. Almost a mishap there, but not enough steam to really roll past the keeper. Salinas, too lackadaisical there, doesn't get the ball. Thought he had time to let it roll. Here comes Spellman, looking through, offside. KJ Orso a little too eager to get behind the defense. Backus trying to get it over towards Salinas. I believe Gioja got a touch on that as well. Gitonga able to win it in the midfield. He's still going hard. Story got his feet crisscrossed a little bit. Skoglund couldn't track it down. King to the far wing. Ross was bumped off the ball. Throw in for the Saints. They lead 6-0. 2 goals for Montez. Spellman, Ruiz, and Dickey also on the board, as well as an own goal in there. Now they try to go long. It's coming over here to the near side. Orso runs onto it. So does Starling. Starling with it. From the top of the 18, puts it towards goal, but about 5 yards over as well. A giveaway off the goal kick, sent in towards the end line, trying to get it on for Orso again. But the sophomore from Mount Vernon, Alabama, could not run onto it. Story couldn't corral it. Punched up towards the box. Blasted away by Bell. Across the face of goal. Ross tried to keep it in, but just a step too shy. Under a minute and a half to go. King knocks it back upfield. Gatonga outleaped Ross. And then the Eagles just blasted out again. And there it is. There is the whistle. The 2015 champions of the ACCA soccer tournament are the Hillsdale Free Will Baptist Saints. They're going to win this thing. It's a round-robin format, and with 2 wins, they have wrapped it up. But don't forget, we will still bring you the Emmaus Eagles against the Ozark Christian Ambassadors coming up tomorrow. That one will kick off at noon, so we hope that you will join us for that. But for everybody here, for Chris Sheeman Media, I'm Todd Panula. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Once again, the final score, Hillsdale Free Will Baptist wins by the final score of 6-0. Remember, if you want to order a copy of this game or any of the games from this tournament or the volleyball tournament going on over at OCC, you can do so at the website on your screen, chrissheeman.com/ACCA, and get yourself a downloadable link. Well, once again, I'm Todd Panula. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this contest. The final 6-0. Hillsdale Free Will Baptist are 2015 ACCA champions. That'll wrap it up for us here. Until the next time, have a good one, everybody.